I just want to get to some breaking news now, folks. This just in from Donald Trump, and it points to a ceasefire in just a matter of hours now involving Iran. So I'm just going to read it if you don't mind. It's again on Truth Social. And he says, congratulations to everyone. It's been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now, when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions. So that takes us to about 2 o'clock this afternoon, our time, when this ceasefire is to come into effect again between Israel and Iran, according to Donald Trump. So he says the war, which was considered, is ending. Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful. On the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will, I'd like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, courage and intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war, he's gone on to say. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. God bless Israel, God bless Iran, God bless the Middle East, God bless the United States of America, and God bless the world. So that points to a ceasefire, even with hour marks on it. That just in from Donald Trump. So we'll have more reaction to that coming up soon. Well, Australia condemned the military response from Iran this morning. Cameron Redden has the details out of Canberra. Cam, the government remains wary of further escalation, even though Donald Trump has just tipped a bucket of cold water on it.
Yeah, what you've just reported there, Pete, would be a significant breakthrough, obviously, in this conflict, noting, of course, that all of this comes really, 48 hours or so, not even on from when those US strikes took place in Iran to neutralise its nuclear facilities. So, look, this is just happening. We'll chase some government reaction. What we do have for now is a statement from Penny Wong, which was only released in the last half an hour or so. We can show you what the government's position is on this. They've condemned these latest strikes from Iran, responding on the US or to those US strikes on a base in Qatar. There's also been some conjecture around what's happened with Iraq, where some missiles fired but didn't get there to the US base. Either way, Australia condemning that action. Penny Wong noting we do not want to see further escalation, saying a full war in the Middle East would be devastating, and repeating those calls for de-escalation, dialogue and diplomacy, which seems to have been taking place to some extent, at least, if the president is now saying a ceasefire is within reach. And talk about the timing here. Donald Trump is scheduled at this stage, still, the White House says, to travel to the NATO summit in the Netherlands in the coming hours. Whether that still goes ahead, given what's happening, we'll see. Richard Marles, the Deputy Prime Minister, is Australia's representative at this. It's been put to me that there is an outside chance Richard Marles has some kind of encounter with Donald Trump here. It's unlikely to be a formal sit-down meeting. It could be one of these many speed dating events that happens, a brief hello, a catch-up, a handshake, something on the sidelines, as part of meeting with other Indo-Pacific nations. As there's been some reporting, Donald Trump has wanted to touch base with some allies while he is at NATO. Richard Marles was asked about this a little earlier this morning. This, though, of course, taking place before Donald Trump announcing, seemingly, work towards a ceasefire on social media just a few minutes ago.
I'm not about to speculate on what meetings I have at NATO. I'm really looking forward to the meeting at NATO. We'll work up our program of meetings which go alongside the main NATO meetings, and we'll take it from there.
So, Pete, we'll chase government reaction to that announcement from Donald Trump that a ceasefire may now be imminent. But this is what Australia in particular has been calling for, and it may go some way, if that is the case, to justifying Australia's support and the support of other nations for that strike on Sunday morning.
All right, Cameron Redden out of Canberra. Thank you, Cam. Well, let's go to the US now. Joining us for some fresh reaction is the former US Army Major Mike Lyons. Good to see you this morning, Mike. Let's start with that breaking news that apparently a ceasefire is only hours away now between Israel and Iran. What do you think? Can it hold?
I don't even know how that's possible. The United States isn't even talking to Iran. You heard Secretary of State Rubio say that over the weekend. I'd like to hear the Iranians say it and the Israelis say it as well. I think it's not, frankly, in Israel's best interest to stop anything right now. We don't know whether exactly the United States did eradicate the Iranian nuclear capability or not. So there's a lot of unknowns there. I understand his desire to try to stop it, and he uses the word ceasefire, and only Donald Trump can put out a tweet like that. But I don't know. Frankly, I'm skeptical.
Well, I mean, he goes on to say it's been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran. And he goes on to say various levels of the ceasefire, 6 hours from now, 12 hours from now, in what will officially be known as a 12-day war, if you like. I mean...
Yeah, he's got it already marketed and everything.
He's marketed, yeah. So, I mean, is it possible?
Yeah, I mean, again, all cards on the table. I don't see it. It's not that I don't want to see a peaceful solution here. I mean, I don't see how Iran, for the past 47 years, in their DNA, is an enemy, a sworn enemy of the United States. And I just don't see them flipping this switch to this some kind of peace. The only peace that the Israelis are going to agree to is unlimited inspections of Iran's facilities. And, there's a lot of other things that Israel's going to be looking for from the Iranian government that frankly, they're not part of the international community. Donald Trump has called them a bully before. I don't see how that tiger changes their stripes or spots or what, pick your adjective there. I'm just floored by it, and I just hope it's going to be something of the truth, but I'm very skeptical still.
Well, I mean, let's get to the attack now on the American base in Qatar this morning. So, I mean, it's interesting in the New York Times. It's running a story at the moment that Iran actually coordinated the attacks on the American airbase with Qatari officials and gave advance notice that the attacks were coming to minimise casualties. And the officials said that Iran symbolically needed to strike back to allow all sides an exit ramp.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that?
Again, it's like, missile attack Kabuki theater. I'm sorry. I just don't accept the fact that somebody fires missiles at us and we're okay with it on any level. So, after Soleimani was killed in 19, they fired. It took them 5 days to come up with a solution. I understand that they have to try to save face based on this Middle Eastern, crazy way to negotiate. But again, I'm in the camp that says you fire missiles at us no matter what. We have the right to respond. And Trump didn't. We're obviously on the escalation ladder. At least this president decided to take out that nuclear capability. I think maybe that's all that Israel really wanted to have comfort with, because that was the existential threat. Maybe that's all they'll get from this, but they want more. They definitely want regime change. I think they would go after the supreme leader if they could. So from my perspective, again, I'm just surprised that we're playing this game with these people.
So do you think there should be a response to that attack, which was thwarted this morning, even though Donald Trump seems to be, okay with it, calling it weak, but pointing to peace?
Yeah, I mean, considering that it was coordinated, I don't know what our response would be. Our response would be another act of, warfare that we just don't need to execute. Our mission was clearly only on the nuclear facilities. I mean, I'm sure we watched on satellites them lining up to shoot those missiles. If we wanted to, we could have intercepted them before they left the launch pad, similar to what Israel's been doing already inside of Iran. Again, it's missile attack Kabuki theater, and I just don't understand this as part of warfare, given what the situation is.
Do you think their nuclear capabilities and facilities have been wiped out? Have they been obliterated, or has it just merely been set back?
Well, they've been set back, and historians are going to look back at times when the quote unquote the can gets kicked down the road. You look at U.S. history, for example, the fact that the U.S. history doesn't solve slavery when it's founded and we have a civil war. The can got kicked down the road. Well, the can got kicked down the road in 2015 with the JCPOA. Because right now, if that agreement was still in place, Iran could be fully enriching nuclear weapons and be on their way and path to a bomb. So all I did was delay. And I think now this attack clearly kicks the can down the road again, but the question is how long? The nuclear genie's out of the bottle. Everybody knows how to make a nuke. The question is, what kind of facilities do they have left to do it?
Mike Lyons, I always enjoy talking to you. Thank you so much for your time. Good to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.